last. Personally, I don't really like crossword puzzles. I like the word finds. I like mind games as far as the trivial games that, the brain games that help tingles my gray matter. Sudoku and a few of the others. But yeah, I definitely love brain games. Call me a nerd, whatever. Don't, do not hold them on a leash. Sagittarians are everything but clingy. They tend to live quite peacefully, going about their own business even without someone they depend on. Sagittarius people are very independent and would not tolerate restrictions. In a relationship, if you just try to dominate them in any way, they would easily let go of you, and worse, will not think twice about broadcasting to other people the kind of person you were when you were still together. Imagine restraining a mutt struggling to get to a hot and juicy bone. You will get dragged along, but a Sagittarius won't really care as long as they're in control. Now, as far as the clingy part, I'm really not even sure what that means of. If that's to be needy, to be wanted, the suffocation of, do you need to hang around me 24/7, how about getting off my ass kind of thing, but it's, I enjoy being with someone who I enjoy being with. So I don't know if that constitutes to being clingy, but at the same time, I would say that up to this point in life, I have been a very independent person. I try to do what I can on my own merits, and be self-sufficient, self-sustaining as much as I can. Because ultimately, if there's no one else, the only one that you have to rely upon is yourself, Do accept Sagittarius people the way that they are. Yes, they might be upbeat and quick thinkers and all that jazz. They even unconsciously brag how awesome they are, but you might not take it all in too personal. Besides, all Sagittarius always dig much deeper in search for logical, not necessarily sane, explanations to almost everything that stirs their gray matter. The ultimate lesson here is to ride their wagon with ease and enjoy the endless enthusiasm for life. Let's see here. Just doing a quick run through to see if there's any comments that's worth anything. Let's see, nothing in that one. This one is compromising with a Sagittarian. While compromise is a necessary part of any relationship, it is especially important for a Sagittarius. This is true in part due to the fact that the Sagittarius is quite capable of taking care of himself and doesn't need someone in order to meet his daily needs. He is quite content to fend for himself and goes about his daily business alone. In fact, it is very difficult for the Sagittarius to make a commitment to a long-term relationship or marriage. So if you are fortunate enough to get him to make the commitment, you will discover the necessity for compromising. I don't know if I necessarily agree everything with that, as far as very difficult for long-term relationships or marriage. But the first part of that definitely rings true. One of the first things you need to learn is that you cannot control or dominate a Sagittarius. The Archer must always be in control of his own life and will not allow anyone else to have a hold over him, no matter how much he may love his partner. If she attempts to put him on a leash, he will quickly walk away and not even think twice about looking back. It is very difficult for him to commit to long-term relationship as it is, so anyone who attempts to control him will be left standing in the cold. Personally, for me, I would say that, when that significant other arises, shows up, becomes significant and integral in my life, honestly, I may talk a big game and be, all anal retentive and grumpy and, all of that, but there's a soft, gooey, sweet goodness, I guess, to me inside. And, chances are I'm probably going to do whatever I can to make you feel that, you're the most important in the world. But at the same time, there's probably only a handful of so many things that I will not, absolutely will not tolerate. And with that being the case, I can say that, it just might very, very well be true that the day those items, actions are ever done, crossed, etc., it might be our last. And despite the days, months, weeks, years of time that we have together, you know what? I might have to cut you off like a cancerous appendage or whatever. And, it goes back to it shouldn't ever have gotten to that point where you could have or did hurt me so badly the way that you've done. So, with that being the case, that will probably go down being one of my life's regret that I was ever with you, because with all the things that I did provide, and what I could offer, and that's pretty much the thanks that I get to be hurt so deeply like that. It goes back and it negates and undo every positive thing that has ever been done, because that's what it amounts to. Of how could you ever hurt me so deeply, on that level? So it's also very important to allow the Sagittarius to explore his mind and those things that surround him. He is a very intelligent human being, and he has a deep need for not just adventure, but for finding answers to everything that surrounds him. If you are not the adventurous type, you will have a very difficult time meeting the needs of your mate. On the other hand, if you are willing to join him in the things he enjoys, even if you don't really enjoy it, you will find he greatly appreciates you and your company. Instead of refusing to join in those activities he enjoys, swallow your pride and join in at least some of the time. One thing the Sagittarius does not like is people who are boring. Because their minds are so active, they must always be doing something that provides challenges. You might make them very happy if you give them a crossword puzzle or engage them in a game that challenges to think, such as some type of trivia game. If you travel with them to a deserted island, they will still want to find out everything about their surrounding. They will not be content with just those things that are in their immediate view. They always need to know what, how, and why for everything in life. The Sagittarius is also very upbeat personality and likes the people around him to be the same way. If you are sad around a Sagittarius, he will quickly change your mood, and that's just the way that he likes it. You must also accept him for what he is, never trying to change the archer into something other than what he is not, or you will displease him immensely. I can say that that's kind of true. I really can't stand people who goes, I'm bored, or this is boring, and my take on that is, what? A boring person is boring, or a boring person is easily bored. So, there's usually always something to do. And boredom, I just don't see that aspect of things, because for me, it's not necessarily boredom. It's either I'm doing something, or I'm trying to relax, or I'm trying to sleep. And all three of those are absolutely grand and, top priority in my book, because as far as trying to relax and trying to sleep, I enjoy the downtime. So definitely enjoy that. Let's see here. Alright, it looks like there's probably only 2 more tabs, so I pretty much should be wrapping this up pretty shortly here after 2 more of these. Avoid conflicts when dating a Sagittarius. One of the worst parts of any relationship is conflict, and when you're dating a Sagittarius, it's important to learn how to avoid any type of confrontations. One of the first things you need to learn is that you cannot control a Sagittarius. Even if you attempt to try, you will find yourself on the outside looking in. In other words, your relationship with a Sagittarius will be over. Even worse, you may feel your Sagittarius will discuss the type of person you were during the relationship after it is over. Sagittarians are very inquisitive and curious people. They need to find out everything about life and how they fit into the grand scheme of things. Even if you put them on a deserted island, he or she will find a way to investigate the circumstances and may attempt to find a way back, and maybe attempt to find a way back to civilization. They are very brilliant and intelligent people and must always be thinking or doing something in order to remain happy. They are not content to sit on the sidelines and allow someone else to think things out for them, nor are they content unless they are busy doing something. Let's see here. If you're the type of person who is content with sitting around and doing nothing, you will not be happy with a Sagittarius. The same holds true if you are content with the status quo, because Sagittarians are always looking to learn new things and challenge their minds. They do not like being idle either, physically or emotionally. While even a child might throw a book at you, they may love it. Let's see here. You should never attempt to put them on a leash. Let's see here, they're not clingy, can make out perfectly on their own. A lot of this seems to be a repeat here. They do not need a relationship or someone to depend on in order to feel as their lives are complete. This does not mean that they are unable to care about other people, but rather that they are extremely independent and can live with or without another person in their life. They must always feel that they are in control of their own life and their own destinies, and do not like those who would attempt to control them. You must accept your Sagittarius mate for the person he or she is. There are specific traits that are common to Sagittarians, and you must understand the way the trait affects the personality of the Sagittarius you are dating. They may even project an unconscious message that shows that they are extremely awesome, but you don't want to take this personally. It's just the way that they are, and they may not even realize that they're doing it. They always have the need to find logical explanations for everything, and you must accept this in order to maintain a sense of peace with your relationship with a Sagittarius. And just to end on things, this is pretty much sex and the Sagittarius of pretty much Sagittarian with other zodiac signs. And the one that I just want to point out is the one with Sagittarius and Virgo. It is truly a match made in hell. The Sagittarius' constantly happy attitude begins to drive the Virgo crazy by day 4. The sex life is not bad as both signs are creative, but once the sex is over, they have to deal with each other for the next 23.5 hours. Damn phone ringing. And it's pretty much damn debt collectors. Sorry. Alright. Hold on, let me backtrack here. The sex life is not as bad as both signs are creative, but once the sex is over, they have to deal with each other for the next 23.5 hours. The Virgo often prefers a simple and laid-back life, not the kind of hectic life the Sagittarius often enjoys. Now, again, going back to Sagittarius and enjoying the chase and the challenge of things, you know, personally, I really don't believe truly or signs being compatible, etc., all of this, because ultimately I do feel that you know, our own personal relationships and how we handle and approach things is pretty much our own business, based on our own individuality and our own experiences and how much effort we put towards working towards that. So that's not to say that it can't work or it won't work. Will it require some effort? Sure, anything does. So, you know, with that being the case, it's, again, reading all of this, I just want to say that this is not supposed to be some absolute Bible, hardcore, authoritative reference on things. Is it a good start and a good basis to go from? Absolutely, and I can say that I'm very critical, and as far as things that's trying to label me and project and stereotype me, but and that was taken from the the-sagittarian.com or the-sagittarius.com. But again, with going through with that, I can definitely say that with that being the case, it's take it with a grain of salt, and with that, try to work it out as best as you can. But again, with if you're trying to land yourself a Sagittarius, definitely those are some good guidelines to go by. But let's see here, and I'm approaching 54 minutes. I don't know if this is going to break the 2 gig limit on YouTube. It might be even split into 2 sections, but with that, I definitely hope that you guys and gals have definitely enjoyed this session. And with that, I will see you guys next time, and I'll definitely give you an update on some prospects of life, of some updates and stuff that's been happening with me. So I'll see you then. Thanks. Bye.